This Sunday is the last Sunday after the Epiphany. As hard as it is to believe, Ash Wednesday is coming next week, and we are right into the season of Lent, that time of reflection leading up to our most joyous of feasts in the Christian year, Easter Day. But before we get into Lent, we have the last Sunday after Epiphany, our last chance to say Alleluia for 6 weeks, and it's a time traditionally in the Christian year when there's a lot of joy and exuberance. The gospel every year on that last Sunday after Epiphany is always the story of the Transfiguration, this very puzzling in some ways, but very mystical story of Jesus taking his closest disciples up to the mountain where he is transfigured in the presence of God the Father. So a lot of really evocative imagery that is always associated with this Sunday, as well as a lot of joy, and there's even that tradition of saying farewell to the Alleluia. And so a lot of our hymns will have extra Alleluias in them as we prepare for that season of Lent. We will start off the service with a great Epiphany hymn, Songs of Thankfulness and Praise, Jesus, Lord, to Thee we raise, with this very elegant German Reformation chorale. And it's a terrific text for use anywhere in the Epiphany season because it sort of touches on all of the high points of the season, from the visit of the Magi all the way through even preparation into Lent, and then hinting at Easter. So particularly on this last Sunday after Epiphany, it's a great way for us to sort of sum up the season as we are starting to be in a point of transition between the two seasons. It's also a really great time to focus specifically on the Eucharist and the way that we express or experience Christ in this world. And both of the choir's anthems, the offertory anthem and the communion anthem, are Eucharistic texts. The offertory anthem is a setting of that very familiar Latin Gregorian chant text, Adoro te devote, which we know with this melody. And it's a setting by the American composer Stephen Caracciolo, uses that melody very prominently. It's hard to miss it, and yet the lush harmonies that surround it are really a beautiful setting for this text by St. Thomas Aquinas. And then at the very end, we don't talk so much about postludes very often, but at the postlude, we'll have this piece by the French 20th century composer and improviser Jean Langlais. Jean Langlais was blind, which maybe accounts for some of his daring harmonies. He wasn't thinking visually in a traditional sense of music theory, but it was very much the sound that French organists were improvising with in the time. It really wasn't very outlandish for his contemporaries, but it uses again, the Gregorian chant of the Te Deum. And so it starts off with these big octaves with the opening notes of that Gregorian chant. And then these exuberant chords. And it continues referencing the chant and then having this powerful and very convicted statement from the organ as we sing this sort of article of faith, the Te Deum. In God we believe and in God we praise. So we have a lot of wonderful music as we wrap up this season after Epiphany, a lot of chances to sing Alleluia, and a lot of chance to really think about that last little bit of Jesus being manifest on earth as we prepare ourselves for that period of reflection that's to come. So remember that our service is on Sunday, 8 o'clock in the chapel, 10:30 in the church, and then Ash Wednesday, just a few days later, we will have services in the church at 7 a.m., noon, and 6 p.m., and that last service will be with choir. So we hope as you start to look forward to that next season that you will also start your Lenten journey with us on Ash Wednesday. And all of these, we hope that you will worship with us here at St. John's Cathedral.